Welcome to the Know, Like, Trust podcast for real estate professionals. In this podcast, you'll discover what it takes to establish know, like, and trust, and connect with the right people for success in real estate. If you're a marketing strategist, real estate agent, or another professional in the real estate space, and you're interested in building a referral-based business, you're in the right place. Here are your hosts, Betty Russo and Christine George.
You like my socks?
I love your socks. Welcome, everyone. To the
They're so fun.
Yay. Hey, everyone. I am Christine George.
I am Betty Russo, and I am sporting my new Post and Beam socks today. And the reason I'm doing that is, well, because I love them, first of all. But we have a really special show for you today. We're talking to Christine again about Post and Beam, but we're also talking with Carrie Edwards, who is Christine's business partner at Post and Beam. And I am so excited to dig in with you two today. And if you don't know this yet, Christine and Carrie left their corporate jobs to create their own marketing agency. And I'm so excited about this for you guys. I love what you're doing. It's just all coming together so beautifully. So it is called Post and Beam Creative. And Post and Beam is real estate's marketing and design solution. And it really is. So I can't wait for you guys to tell us all about it.
Yay. We're super excited and humbled, and like, it just feels weird to talk about your own stuff. So I'm going to kick it off by talking about Carrie, because she never talks about herself, and she's extremely humble about her skills. So I would like to introduce Carrie Edwards, my amazing business partner. She is an incredibly, incredibly talented designer. She is the yin to my yang. We are like sisters from another mister. Like, we look like we're related. We act like sisters together. And I am just so appreciative of being able to work with Carrie every single day. So let me just give you a little tidbit about Carrie. She graduated from Syracuse University from their College of Visual and Performing Arts. And she started her career in New York working for a major magazine publication, and then came to Boston and worked in a variety of roles. And she also worked for some advertising agencies while she was in Boston. And she is no stranger to being an entrepreneur. She was an entrepreneur, a freelance designer for, I want to say, 15 years. When her kids were born, before she came to work with me at Leading Edge. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to kick it over to you, Carrie. Just can you sort of expand on that and tell us your story?
First of all, thank you for that lovely intro. You're so sweet, and I feel the same about you. I sort of knew that I wanted to start a family, and I did that work from home thing way before there was a pandemic and way before everybody else was doing it. I had left a job where I was actually working at a music school at the time, but I had been at the big ad agencies, and the hours were just not conducive to having a family and running your own business at the same time. So started my freelance business in 2007. And really did that all the way until I had my first child in 2008, and did that all the way until my kids got to a point where we were kind of over the worst of the pandemic hump. So everybody wasn't home all the time anymore. And I feel like that might have been kind of the push where I wanted to get out of the house, and my kids didn't need me as much. You know, they were approaching 14 and 10, and they're more independent at those ages. So I was ready to go out and get a job. And I have a passion for real estate anyway on the side. So when I saw this job opportunity pop up at a local brokerage where they needed a new designer to work on a new brand, it was so exciting. So I jumped at the chance, and that's how I ended up meeting Christine. She was my first interview and my boss to start out with.
Oh. From boss to business partner. I love it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
wow, you were both working for the same company. You were both working at Leading Edge. And how did you take what you did together there into running your own business? Like, how did you go from Leading Edge, boss, and I don't know what to say, student,
Yeah.
to running your own business together?
You want to take that?
Sure. So I think right from the start, Christine and I knew that we had a really good synergy. We were working on project after project after project together, launching something that was going to be very similar to what we're already doing. And it just wasn't the right fit for us. So we realized that we really work so well together and had all the right pieces to do what we do best. We wanted to take the parts of what we were doing and really be able to just focus on them. So I wanted to be able to focus on being creative. Christine wanted to focus on, marketing strategy and doing all the things that agents really need instead of lots of meetings, office stuff, the sort of the day-to-day grind of running a major business, where we knew we could just do what we wanted to do. And we knew that we worked together well. So it was good.
Yeah. And it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense because I love what you're doing.
Thank you. I don't know, like it's like the universe came together for us, honestly. Like we hit it off immediately, and in working together, we were, we really did recognize, like, wow, we had something special. I think alone, I just never felt like, I always felt like when I thought about the idea of doing something on my own, something felt like it was missing. And I know for me, I need the collaboration of others. I need the team feel. And Carrie just naturally brought that together. We brainstorm awesomely together. We met last week to do our business planning, and we were the ideas were just flowing. So it feels really easy. It's like a marriage, when you're like dating your husband, when people say, when you know.
Yeah.
It was like that for us, I feel like. And I just also want to just note that we have Deborah and Natalia here. So thank you guys for showing up. It's so great to see you guys. And Mark Eskew is here as well. So
welcome.
Love seeing you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I really admire what you did, taking that leap of faith, but it sounded like it was a no-brainer because of the camaraderie and the connection that you already had. But it had to be scary anyway. Like, was it scary to just leave your business, your company, and you're getting a paycheck coming in every week, and this is totally at the opposite spectrum, not in the sense of what you were doing, but doing it on your own versus working for a company. Was it
for
scary?
Sure. Go ahead.
I think it was scary for each of us differently. For me, I had never not had a paycheck, and I was like, holy cow, I've never not had a paycheck. I'm not sure I'm ready to do this. And that was a big part of what held me back, years prior too. I'm a hard worker. I bring in, income to our house. That's really part of my identity and important to me. So the idea of not having that freaked me out.
Yeah. My fears were a little different because I've had that before. My fears going into it were, I had two major ones, and Christine really had to talk me through them. I'm not going to lie. So one was going back to running my own business because I had done it for so many years, and it is so much more than I love to design. That's my passion. That's what I love to do. And there's so much more to it than just design. You got to run your business. You got to invoice people. You got to track people down. You've got to promote yourself. There's so much. And what's awesome about working with a partner is that Christine was like, I can take on some of that burden. You're not doing it all by yourself anymore. But then that was another fear I had because I had never run a business with one other person. The only other partner in business that I've ever had is my husband. And that's like, we run Airbnb properties together. So like, it's a very different kind of thing. So those were my two major fears, but I definitely don't have them anymore. Like, it was getting over that hump. And now that we're here, like, it's never an issue. I don't ever worry about it.
So I would imagine getting over that fear. I would imagine that the help and the support of your families and your husbands was huge in helping you get over that fear.
Huge.
Any
So,
other insight on that?
Yeah. So for me, my husband was like, he was the one who said before, it was like brewing in my mind, but he was the one who said to me, it's time. Like, you need to do this. We're going to be okay. I'm fully supporting you. Like, I needed to know that if I was going to do this, he was going to be supportive, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally. I needed him to be there to allow me to, do what I needed to do without any kind of guilt, right? Or regret. But also, Carrie did have to walk me through, because, aside from the financial piece of it, was this whole fear of failing. Like, oh my God, what if I don't actually have what I think I have? And Carrie really had to walk me through that and she still does. Like, sometimes there are days when I'm like, oh my God. And Carrie will say, it's going to come. We're doing the right stuff. We're doing the right things. It's going to happen. So I think having, whether it's your spouse, your family, or your business partner, or your friends, or your mentors, sort of be there to help support you. I think that's what helps you get over those humps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of support from my husband too. And he was like, he was like, are you sure you want to go into business with just one other person? And what my answer to that was, that was one thing I never doubted, was going into business with Christine in particular. I know of so many siblings who have gone into business together, friends who have gone into business together. And I said to him, the difference between what Christine and I are doing and siblings or friends, we started as coworkers first. So we know how we work together. Like, I know I could never go into business with one of my siblings. Kudos to people who do, or friends, because you can be really great friends and not have any clue how that other person works on a day-to-day basis. You don't know their work ethic. You don't know if they're going to pull their weight. You don't know if they're organized or disorganized. And I already knew all of those things about working with Christine. And so that made me feel really secure in the decision to go into business with one other person.
And I think knowing that you have the same goals, you have the same vision for your futures, for your business, that really helps as well.
Yeah.
And that fear of failure, I feel like that's not such a bad thing. It pushes you to do better.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, because who wants to deal with that? You're creating this business, you're not going to deal with failure. So you're going to push to be better. Fear is not always such a bad thing.
Nope.
It isn't. I always sort of ask myself when I'm afraid to do something, like, two things. One is, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Right? Like, yeah, I would do that if I wasn't afraid. Or two, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You don't make it. Well, then what? Then you move to the next thing. Like, no one's going to die. No one's, going to get hurt, So it's like, okay, well, I can deal with that. If you can deal with the worst case scenario, then go ahead and move forward.
Excuse me.
Absolutely. Yep. I agree.
Yeah. I think another good question to ask yourself is, like, how would you feel if you didn't decide to take this leap because of fear?
Yes.
It would be so much regret, right? The wondering, the not knowing, anytime you back away from a decision like that, the what if, the wondering, is not worth it. Like,
exactly.
Like Christine said, what do we have to lose? Nobody's going to die based on whether or not we succeed in this.
That's right.
Right. So, we each put ourselves into it. We give it some time, and I feel like we're already successful. So I'm not even I'm not even thinking about the alternative. I don't even think about failure. Like, it's not.
I love that attitude.
It doesn't exist.
On my radar.
It doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I am with you.
So let's dig in a little bit to Post and Beam and the creation of this new company. Where did you start? What did you do right in the beginning to get it started?
Do you want to answer? Or do you want me to answer?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So, we had to work fast and furious, to be honest, because we kind of made the decision to take the leap. And Christine was going to be representing us at the Woman Up conference in California within like weeks of us making this decision. I think it was exactly a month, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our clients actually graciously allowed us to stay in their Airbnb when we were going out there. We're kicking off a project with them, and they were like, stay in our Airbnb. And it was August 1st. It's like my wedding anniversary. I'm never going to forget that date. And the whole drive, it was out in the Berkshires of Massachusetts. So it was about a 3-hour drive for us. So Christine drove and I took notes, and we talked and we talked and we talked, and we had an outline and we figured it all out. And then we spent a day at the Airbnb and we talked and we mapped things out. And before we even did that, we had to come up with a name. And that is like hands down one of the hardest things to do. It's like, I find it hardest to do it for your own branding is harder than doing branding for anybody else, because you are your toughest critic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, actually before August 1st, we had our name, didn't we?
Yep. And I think you came to that meeting with design ideas. Yep.
I did. That's right. I forgot about that. So
that's incredible.
Yep.
We had to really move fast, but we went through, God, how many names? I don't even know how many name ideas we went through.
Yeah.
But I'll take this opening to explain our name a little bit, because I really love the story behind our name.
I do too.
So obviously we do branding and marketing for the real estate space. So Post and Beam is a familiar phrase to anybody who knows anything about homes, right? It's the construction method. It's one construction method in home building or building at all. But I love that it's a familiar phrase, but it has different meanings. So the post is the vertical support in the building, but to post something is also to announce something, to make it known. So it's kind of that double meaning of that word. And then the beam is the part that is horizontal. It's the outreaching support. And to beam is also to shine, to smile. So we at Post and Beam make you known, announce who you are, but also you shine while you do it. And we also provide that structure for you in your marketing and your design. And so that's what I love about our name. I just love the different meanings. I'm kind of a word nerd, so that makes me happy.
It's genius.
I love that.
It's genius. Absolutely. I love that story.
And so that made so much sense. And just to kind of add to that, because I'm really like the and this is why we're so great together. Carrie like thinks so creatively. She's the designer, she's the creative thinker, and then I'm sort of on the opposite side, like the logistical, operational structure. I'm the literal Post and Beam, and Carrie is the, announce and outreach part of that. And so
true.
When we were in the Berkshires, we mapped out our goals. We mapped out our positioning. We mapped out our target audience. We put our entire business plan in place. We created our structure for our agreement, for our operating agreement. We reached out to an attorney and got our LLC set up. Like, we went to a bank and we opened up a bank account. Like, we did all of that, like, awful, boring operational stuff as well.
The stuff you have to do.
Yeah. The stuff you have to do.
But we did it all within a week or two.
A week.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
You're on fire.
But it's so nice to have
We
that
are.
behind us, like nothing was dragged out because Christine was very like time on task. And I'm so glad that she was, because that's the kind of stuff I'd be like, I'll get to it. I would open a bank account when I got paid, it's that kind of a thing. Because that is like, I'm the creative person. Like I hate thinking about that stuff. And so that is why we, like when she said in the very beginning, we're yin and yang, it's so true. Like we really balance each other well in that way.
That's awesome. Yeah, Christine is very organized. She's very like chop, chop, chop.
Yep.
Get it done, get it done. Here's the order of things that have to be done.
Don't tell me to do something until you're actually ready for me to do it.
So you mentioned figuring out who is your target audience, Christine. So better yet, who's your ideal client?
Yeah. So this was, and this is evolving, I would have to say. Carrie and I haven't even talked about this, but it's sort of already on my mind. So our ideal client, first of all, lives in the real estate space. So real estate is really our niche. That doesn't mean we wouldn't serve somebody outside of the real estate space. We're working with an attorney right now, but that is really our niche. And within that, our target is independent brokerages and teams. I think what we're finding is on certain projects, we really appeal to the brokers, the independent brokers and teams. On others, we really do appeal to agents, single individual agents. So that's kind of, we really are focused on driving our, messaging to those independent brokerages and teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't add anything to that. That's exactly it.
Okay.
That's perfect. So Carrie, what type of services do you and Christine offer to brokerages and teams and anybody else that you're serving?
So, wow, so we offer actually quite a bit. And
there's a lot. I know.
A variety of ways in which we offer it. So we do branding, which, is more than just logo. I like to make that known. People think that they can just slap a roof on their name and call it their logo and hit the ground running. And it's so much more than that. Christine does an amazing deep dive into, the overall personality of the brand and all of that. But so branding, marketing strategy, but also the day-to-day things. Like we provide a listing subscription. So a listing collateral subscription where we'll take care of your entire package for your property listing, everything from, your brochure all the way to the just sold social media and everything that comes in between that you need to promote a property. And that's part of our subscription service. We have an educational portion of it, which is called Raise You, short for Raise University, right? Where that's where Christine really gets to shine, and she hosts events and she does educational videos and talks through all the materials that we post within Raise You that are available to our members, things like business planning strategies and checklists for how to set up a virtual open house. And Christine, you can go on and on about everything that's in Raise You.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yep. Everything that you would need, checklists and everything that you might need to promote your personal brand or your business would be in Raise You.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've dug around in Raise You a little bit, and it is pretty extensive. What you'll find in there, you wouldn't necessarily expect from a marketing company. All the education, and it's all additional perks. As far as I'm concerned, what I think it's pretty incredible. I was actually surprised to see what you offer. Pleasantly surprised.
That's nice.
Absolutely. So I have to ask you both. Let's start with you, Carrie. Would you have done anything differently in this whole process of getting your business together, up and running? Any lessons that you could teach?
I would have maybe taken a little more time if we could have.
But you couldn't.
Yeah, we weren't really given that option. Like if you saw our first website that I did like in a hot second to have something to put, to make us known in the digital space, um, I wasn't very proud of it, to be honest, because we just did it really fast. So I think the only thing I would have changed was that we were able, and we didn't have the choice. So it's not like I could go back and change this, but would have been to take a little more time to get things in place. But we're here, and we've completely revamped the website, so I'm very happy with it now. I love how it looks. So and the messaging that's in it and everything. So I'm happy with where we are. That's it.
I have to say that not having that extra time, it doesn't seem to have impaired your business in any way. I mean, I would imagine though that the anxiety and the nerves were probably very high.
Yes, very high
at the time. How about you, Christine? What do you think? Anything you would have done differently?
At this point, I don't have any regrets or anything I would have done differently. Maybe ask me in a year, because we're still trying to figure things out. We're still trying to figure out, a rhythm, I think. We're still building so many things, and I think we'll always be building something, but, we're building everything from scratch at this point. It's not like we can go and take something and refine it. We're just not there yet. So maybe ask me in a year, but I will say we are, one of the things that we talked about doing when we were planning last week was we're going to do a listening tour, essentially like an agent focus group in January. And about it, Betty. But I am super looking forward to that, right? Because I feel like, we've been so caught up in building this so that we can actually put it out, that now it's time to go out to our client base, our prospects, our target audience, and start to talk to them and understand now, especially with a shifting market, like what do they need? What don't they have? How are they approaching the market now that it's different? And I think that there's so much we can learn and need to learn so that we can, tweak what we're doing to better serve our clientele.
Yeah, I think we just always want to be providing what agents and brokers and team need the most. And our goal is to provide it in a unique way. Unlike, we don't do templates. We don't churn stuff out. What I create for one client is completely different from what I create for another client, which I think sets us apart from some of the other services in the space where, it's, you can end up looking the same as other people. And that is our goal, is to have our clients not look the same as anybody else.
And they
That's
don't.
a great point. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, that's a great point is, when you look, there are so many marketing agencies, there are so many design agencies, branding companies out there, especially focused on the real estate space. And we looked at all of them when we were putting our business plan together. And I think the thing that we kept coming back to is that it's really important to have that human factor, because you are not a template, right? Like, just like people don't want to be a lead, right? Like your buyers and sellers, they don't want to be a lead. You don't want to be a template. And we don't want you to be a template. We want to create and provide something that is unique to you, because there is so much noise in the market. And everybody just kind of looks like everybody else. And, we all have our own DNA. We are all completely different from each other. And so why not make our personal brand that way as well? So that's really our goal when we're working with our clients.
Wow. You know what? Looking at some of the work that you've done, because I see it, I follow you. I follow some of your clients. They are so standout, amazing. There's nothing like what you do. There isn't. I haven't seen it. If it's out there, show it to me, somebody. I haven't seen it. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's a challenge.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to this year, this upcoming year? What are you looking forward to in your business?
Ooh, I'm looking forward to the focus groups that we're going to do in January, because I feel like that is, so I love brainstorming sessions too, just like Christine does. And actually the idea for them came out of a brainstorming session that she and I just had like a couple weeks ago. And what I'm looking forward to most is not just getting from the agents what we can do for them, but hearing them talk to each other, because our plan is to have, it's not going to be one brokerage or one team. Like, you can brainstorm with your coworkers all day long. It's going to be kind of fun to see what they get out of talking to people. We're doing two. We're doing an in-person one sort of local to us, and one that's going to be on Zoom, so that we can capture ideas from everyone from the Pacific Northwest to Texas to Chicago, like to Massachusetts, so across the board. So
And New Jersey.
And New Jersey.
And
Yep.
New Jersey.
I'm looking forward to that.
Hint, hint.
I'm just looking forward to, I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to
Me
the
too.
new work that we get to do. Because that's every day. Like, that's what I wake up to do, is to come up with a new idea for
That's so
somebody.
exciting.
That's my passion. That's what I want to do. I want to sit down with my sketchbook and I want to sketch out ideas for the next client. Like, that's what I
And
love.
so what can our listeners look forward to from you in the new year?
Well,
Anything up
the
and
one thing-
coming besides
Yeah.
the focus groups that you might want to share with us?
Sure. Well, we do have our annual report. We actually launched it this month, but it really hits the ground in January, and that is an annual report that we're offering to agents, teams, brokerages, to just sort of really recap the year and be able to talk about the market. I'm really looking forward to those being out in the market and seeing those come to life. I'm so excited about the Women Up conference next year, although there's this big contest going on right now about where it's going to be and when it's going to be. And I
was just
no
going to ask
idea
you,
for
where is
both.
it going to be?
Don't know. Deborah is being very tight-lipped about it. She won't tell. So I'm super excited about that and connecting with all of those women. Every year I go, I get, deeper, my connections grow deeper and the relationships grow deeper. And so I'm really excited about that. We're working with some of the women from Women Up right now on a couple of projects. And so I don't know, I'm excited to see people, to connect with people, and just to continue to provide, valuable items.
It's exciting. It's very exciting talking to both of you, and I feel your energy. So I love it. Thank you. All right, we're going to start wrapping this up, girls. Can you tell me, Christine, what are the 3 action items you'd recommend to our listeners to implement in their business right now?
Number 1, don't let fear hold you back. Number 2, collaboration is key. If you are an individual agent, especially individual agents who don't naturally have a team member, make sure you find somebody that you can collaborate with. 2 brains are better than 1 for sure. And what's the third one? Katie Lance says it all the time. Done is better than perfect.
Yes.
So, let the perfection go. And, just get it done. The website is a great example. Get it done. You can always go back and tweak things later.
Perfect. And you are not exempt from this. Carrie, finish this sentence for me. Know, like, and trust is
the feeling in your heart that you're doing the right thing with and for the right people.
Oh,
Oh,
that's so great. That's so great.
I feel like I'm in the right spot with Christine. And I feel like our niche of working in the real estate space, we're working for the right people and we're attracting the right clients too. Like, we have lovely clients. So it's just like, it's just how it works, I feel like.
That's fantastic. I wish you all the best, both of you, going forward.
Thank you for being part of this, Betty.
Yeah. And I am, I'm sorry, my voice is a little crazy today. I am your number one fan. And I'll fight somebody for that position, by the way. Don't challenge me.
we love your support. Betty's always there for us, like every step of the way, she's cheering us on.
You're great. I believe in what you're doing. So awesome.
Thank you.
All righty. Christine, where can people find Post and Beam Creative?
We are at postandbeamcreative.com. All the socials are Post and Beam Creative. And of course, you can find me, Christine Carlo George is all my social handles. And then Carrie, what are your social handles?
Carrie Edwards 1175 is my Instagram. And I'm just Carrie Edwards on Facebook. So good luck finding me. My name is so generic.
I love what you're posting on Instagram at Post and Beam. I love your daily posts. Very inspirational. Everyone, I highly recommend that you follow them there and, at their personal Instagram accounts too. So Carrie and Christine, thank you so much. I'm so excited again. I can't say it enough times. Everyone joining us today, thanks for being here. Oh my gosh, Christmas is in 3 days. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And for everyone else, happy holidays, Happy New Year. We're with you and we love you. Thank you so much for tuning in today and for every broadcast. It's fun and we love being here with you. So thank you and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening. If you like this podcast, we'd love it if you subscribe and leave a review. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, please reach out to Christine or Betty on social media for consideration. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Please join us next time for another insightful conversation on incorporating know, like, and trust into your business.